Welcome back, guys, to my ultimate match card that you asked me for, and I'll just quickly lay out the matches as needed. Okay, so the first one is a promo battle, two people. The next one is IC champion from the 90s versus an IC champion from the 2000s. Next one is a TLC tag match, a tag team from the 80s, a tag team from the 90s, a tag team from the 2000s, and a tag team from the 2010s. Next one, it's a hardcore legends triple threat. Next one is a brand warfare, someone from WWE, someone from AEW, someone from WCW, and someone from TNA. And then the last match is an elimination chamber, a WWE champion from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010, 2020s. So a 7-man elimination chamber, which is kind of weird. I guess we'll start with 3 people in the ring, but it's fine. I'm all for this. Okay, so I set a couple of rules. Every single match must be a WWE match, must be WWE people, except otherwise specified where it's the inter-brand warfare. And I cannot book someone on the card twice. That's because otherwise I'll just put like Stone Cold in a lot of these spots where obviously I just made a couple of rules myself. So let's start off with the promo battle. Oh, there's so many good and you also stipulate can be wrestlers or managers, so there's so many good promo guys out there, and there's so many people I want on this card, but I can only have a certain amount of people on this card. So I ultimately went for, you have to do Paul Heyman. There's just no way you're not doing Paul Heyman. Now The Rock would have been a good option, Y2J would have been a good option, but there's maybe other spots on the card for them. So I ultimately settled on Paul Heyman versus CM Punk in a promo battle. I think that would be a solid promo battle. Both of them probably top 5 mic guys of all time. Next, IC champion from the 90s versus IC champion from the 2000s. IC champion from the 90s, I went with, and this is going to be probably, all of these matches are going to be brilliant, let's be real. IC champion from the 90s, I went with HBK Shawn Michaels. Come on, how can you not have him on this card? He could have fit in a lot of spots as well. And then IC champion from the 2000s, I went with Chris Jericho. I mean, the two of them, they've had a couple of matches. It's always been absolute brilliant matches. So I'm obviously going to go for those two. Why not? TLC match. This one is where I thought long and hard. TLC match. A WWE wrestling team. It wasn't a wrestling team. Tag team from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. So I wanted. My ideal was run back TLC 2 and throw in the Usos. But there's no way of doing it because none of those teams fit the 80s mold. Then I wanted to add the Rockers, but then I thought, were they around in the 80s? And I looked into it, and I already have HBK on the card, so it doesn't matter if they were around in the 80s anyway. Then I wanted to do Road Warriors, but they debuted in WWE specifically in 1990, so they don't count as 80s. So I just went 80s. I'm going to go for Demolition because they are kind of WWE's answer to Road Warriors. Could have gone a lot of teams. And then I'm just throwing back TLC 2. We've got, let's go, it doesn't really matter in which order, but let's go Edge and Christian from the 90s. Let's go Dudley's from the 2000s. And this is, okay, so saying from that era doesn't mean they're from that era. They must have just competed in that era. So take this into account with the rest of this list. It's the wrestlers in their prime. Hopefully that makes sense. So they must have just competed in that era. That's at least the rules I set for this. So we've got Demolition from the 80s. We've got Edge and Christian from the 90s. We've got Dudley's from the 2000s. And we've got Hardys from the 2010s. Because Hardys are I don't know if the Dudleys were team. Yes, they probably were a team in the 2010. So I could have gone either way. But that's the TLC match. Now Hardcore Legends Triple Threat match. I could have just run back Kane, Raven, and Big Show from WrestleMania 17, but you have to have Mankind in this match. I went Mankind, I went Terry Funk, and then I thought long and hard, who's going to be the third one? Will it be Sabu? Will it be RVD? Will it be Sandman? There's so many options. Tommy Dreamer. I went with Raven, and I think that's a fair shot. Now brand warfare, and this is the one where I pulled the strings and twisted the rules to fit my narrative. We need it's a Legends, Fatal 4-Way, Brand Warfare, someone from WCW, someone from AEW, someone from TNA, and someone from WWE. So, I went spooky. That's the vibe I went for with this match. So I had to think, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get everybody in the card? So, I decided AEW, I'm going to go for Sting. He was in AEW, but again, This is specifically the match where I want to stress that it's just they must have been in that company, but it's them in their prime. So I went for Sting from AEW. I could have gone for Sting from TNA as well. I could have gone for Sting from WCW as well, but I didn't really have anybody that fits the spooky vibe from AEW except for Sting, and now this is Sting in his prime. Then TNA, I went for the Monster Abyss. Now WWE, I went for The Fiend. Makes sense. Or Bray Wyatt, either one. Doesn't really matter. I'd be cool with both of them. Now, there's somebody I need on this card, and that's obviously The Undertaker. But how do I put him on this card? And this is why I just like stretched and bent the rules to fit my narrative. And ultimately I realized he was a WCW wrestler. He wasn't the Undertaker yet, but like I said in the beginning, this is all of them in their prime. So Undertaker in his prime, so it's Sting, Taker, Fiend, Abyss. Spooky wookie, fatal 4-way match. Then we need a 7-person elimination chamber match. We need a champion. It must have been champions from the 70s. Now, yes, this like the first match where it was an IC champion from the 90s, IC champion from the 2000s. There must have been champions in this decade. That's a little bit of a caveat with these ones. A champion from the 70s, champion from the 80s, champion from the 90s, champion from the 2000s, champion from the 2010s. Is it only 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, maybe I miscalculated. Maybe it is 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2000. Yes, it's only 6. I don't know what I said earlier. Just forgive me. 70s, you have to go with Bruno. I mean, it's as simple as that. You have to go Bruno. 80s, maybe not the most decorated champion in the 80s. And if so many people are going to shout at me, why didn't you go for Hogan? I don't like Hogan. It's as simple as that. This is my card. I built it the way I wanted to. He was technically champion, even though it wasn't very long. I went with 80s, Andre. So it's Bruno, Andre. 90s, Stone Cold Steve Austin. 2000s, Triple H. 2010s, he was champion in 2010s. He was probably more known in the 90s and the 2000s for being champion, but I went for The Rock. Now, the 2020s, I didn't have a lot of options. Obviously, you've got Cody, you've got Bobby Lashley, you've got Drew McIntyre, you've got a couple of guys. You've got The Miz, I think, was champion as well, Randy Orton. There was not a lot of options, not like an incredible amount of options, but ultimately, I landed on Roman Reigns. So, my Elimination Chamber match, champions from each decade, is Bruno versus Andre versus Stone Cold versus Triple H versus The Rock versus Roman Reigns. So, I think this is an incredible card with the rules that you laid out and I twisted to fit my narrative. I think this is still an absolutely amazing card, and I'm completely happy with this card. There's multiple ways I could have gone with this, but ultimately this is just the way the cookie crumbled. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, peace.